Well, hello. We are going to get started with our first class in our MK University. You are probably a new consultant and you are excited about getting started. You are wondering about how you're going to manage all of these different things. And I'm just going to go over some of the most important things that I think you need to know as far as getting organized, developing good habits in your business, and just getting off to a good start. Now, all these things are things that you will tweak as you go, but they're things that you can get started with now and just continue to build upon as you move forward in your business. They're all good things to start doing in the beginning so that you get off to a good start with a good habit. Because sometimes the things that we don't do from the beginning will kind of stack up and then cause problems as we move forward. So you want to get started with these things and then continue with them. It doesn't mean that you won't change it maybe along the way, finding new ways or different ways to manage things, but I think they're really important. Okay. So we are going to talk a little bit first about your schedule. All right, because in Mary Kay, we always say it is faith first, family second, career third, right? And a lot of women, their biggest concern is how am I going to fit this into my life? And sometimes women are so busy that they think, I don't have time for Mary Kay. I don't know where I would fit this in. I'm just totally maxed out. Well, guess what? If something's important to you, you will find a way to make it happen. And there are many, many ways that you can be creative and sprinkle your business into what you're doing. And of course, your director will help you figure out your schedule and give you ideas on how you could move it, squeeze some Mary Kay time around the other things that you do. But one of the first things you want to do is get comfortable with creating a weekly plan sheet. Now, there is a weekly plan sheet on my website. It's the same one that's on Mary Kay in Touch, or you can just use your planner that came in your starter kit. It's a beautiful planner. And the idea behind creating a weekly plan sheet is just to open up your week at a glance. And you're going to think about all the different things that you need to do that week that you have to do, okay? Like your work, things that you have obligations for your kids, social obligations, church, things that you do going to the gym or other clubs or activities that you do, volunteer work, and just other social things that you have, like a standing date night or, a book club or whatever it is that you do. You want to put that onto your schedule, okay? And then you're going to look at that week and say, all right, well, where do I have places where I can do my Mary Kay? Now, for some of you, you want to get in front of people and you want to do face-to-face appointments. We know that's the best way to learn, especially in the beginning, and practice. And it's also going to be the best way to make money. So I definitely recommend that. Not everyone is going to do that. Some people are going to sell on the go or just, have a couple family and friends that are ordering with them. But probably if you're watching this video, you're interested in how to actually run a real Mary Kay business. And so as a business person, you want to give yourself the best chance at success. So that means getting in front of people so they can try the product, feel it on their face, see the results right away, and then make a bigger purchase, right? So if you're doing that, you're going to want to look at your calendar and think about, where do I have a 2-hour window where I could do an appointment? Now, for some of you, it may be during the day, and you could catch women that are working from home or stay-at-home moms or people that have a day off from work. For some of you, it might be a weekend where you could do something on a Saturday morning or a Sunday afternoon, or it might even be some time frames during the week days in the evening, like a Thursday evening party. Those are really fun nights of the week to get some girlfriends together. So look at that week and figure out, where would my Mary Kay appointments go if I could just give 2 hours a week to do one appointment. If I could do 2 appointments per week, where would I put those 2 appointments? And then you're going to also want to figure in your weekly success night, because that's important to go to that for training. So plan that in if possible. Make sure you talk to your director about that and where and when it is. And then you're going to also figure out, when could you do some Mary Kay office time. Now, this is the time when you are getting yourself organized, setting things up in your office, especially when you're new. It's also when you're going to be making those booking calls, texting people, following up with people to get those appointments booked. And then later, as your business grows, this is going to be the time when you follow up your customers to see how they like their products. It's just like your customer contact time. Okay. So some people really like to do a color coded weekly plan sheet. If you are one of those crafty people that like using different highlighters and making it all color coded, you can do that. And you can put in your appointments with a yellow, highlight your appointments with yellow, or block it out with a yellow square so you know this is the time that you have available for a weekly plan. For a Mary Kay appointment in your weekly plan. So getting comfortable with doing that as a month at a glance and a week at a glance is really important. The other important thing that Mary Kay Ash always told us to do was make a 6 most important things list before you go to bed at night, because there's a lot of different things that you have in the air, right? You're doing things for your job, for your family, for yourself, and you want to make sure that you don't forget anything. Well, you can't just hold it all up in here. That's when people get overwhelmed. You have to do a brain dump. Dump everything down in a 6 most important things list. And that could be in your planner so that you remember what those things are when you look at the planner. It could be in your phone if you're more of the person who would write it in your phone. But we know that writing things down actually helps connect the brain better so we remember things. So make sure that's part of your daily routine to make a 6 most important things list before you go to bed so that you can remember who you need to follow up with, who do you need to call, do you need to buy any supplies, do you need to place an order for someone, do you need to deliver an order for someone. Whatever it is those things are, don't let them stress you out. Just write them down. And then the next day, you know what you need to do. And you check off those things as you do them. And if they didn't get done that day, then they move to the next day's 6 most important things list. Don't write 30 million things that you need to do. Try to keep it to those 6 most important things. It doesn't mean that you can't do a brain dump of lots of things that need to get done, but you want to prioritize and have those 6 most important things in front of you for the next day. One analogy that I heard is that in our businesses at night, we need to be the CEO of the company. We need to be the strategizer, the big vision planner, and figure out what needs to be done and who's going to do it. Because some of the things that we have on our to-do list, maybe they could be delegated to someone else. So think about, how are all these different things going to happen and who needs to know about them, right? You're the CEO, the mastermind of the whole company. But then in the morning, you're the worker bee. You are the one who just looks at that list and you get to work, all right? You don't want to be the CEO in the morning planning and strategizing and doing all that, because now it's time to work. Now it's time to get busy. The day is started. All right. So do your strategic planning, big vision before you go to bed. Write those things down, make a plan, and the next morning you get into action. All right. So that's the first thing I wanted to share with you, is to get control of your time and your schedule. Write it down and really stay committed to following that plan. It's not going to work if you just make the plan and then you don't follow it, right? You have to be your own boss and you have to work at this just like you would if you were working at a job and your boss told you you need to book these appointments today at, this time, because that's what's on your schedule. And we always strive to get one new booking a day. That's a great goal for you to set for yourself as a new consultant. Sometimes you might be getting 3 or 4 or 5 in a day, especially when you're first starting and you're contacting all of your friends and family. But after that, it's through the follow-up, the consistency, that you're going to be able to get that one new booking every day. So I challenge you to work toward that on a regular basis. Some days it may not happen, but that's okay, because another day when you work hard, it may give you 3 or 4 bookings. All right. And it'll even out, but just stay consistent. Consistency is the key. Okay. So that's a little bit about your weekly plan. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about is managing your products. Okay, this is the fun part when you have placed your order and you have products to sell. Congratulations, you are open for business. And if you were a smart consultant, then you started your business with some extra inventory so that you would be able to give that product to people right away. It makes your business so much easier when you do that. So I'm just going to show you a couple different things that I do in my business to help me keep my products organized. You don't need a lot of space for inventory. You don't need a whole like bookcase and big shelving or a closet, especially when you're brand new. Your inventory might be kind of small in the beginning, and then over time, as your customer base grows, your inventory will grow because you get to feel what the most popular products are that people will need, and you keep those in stock. Okay. But in the beginning, hopefully you're going to have some inventory and you're going to need to know how to store it. Let me just show you a few things that I do. There's also a video on my website where I go over this in more detail, but this is just a quick version. Alrighty, so I like these plastic bins here because they are like these little snap-on and snap-off boxes, and you can stack them. So you can have lots of different products in different boxes. They have a lid that comes on the top, and then you can carry it with you to your appointments. And it's really easy to just stick on a shelf, stick under your bed, stick in the corner of a room. And for most of us, we have a space and we might need to clear off a few things, but we have space to stack like 3 or 4 of these. And I like to use a label maker to label them so I know what's in them. And in the beginning, you just may have 2 or 3 of them and just put all the products in there. But as you have more inventory, you may separate them out a little bit more and have different products in different bins. Okay. What I like about these is that they're very portable, so I can take them with me when I go do appointments. The other thing that you might consider using is a box like this. I have a crate. Let me show you what I use this for. This is a basket like this, and inside of it I have these 2 brown boxes that separate my foundations, and I have my CC creams in here and my powders up here. So I have all my foundations in a crate like this. And it's really nice because I can hold it on the side and I can take it with me, and then I can just slide it on the shelf and slide it out, and I can put it in my car when I do appointments. So these are all of my foundations, the liquid foundations, the CC creams, but you could use this for, all of your skincare products, your microdermabrasion, your skin vigorate brushes, and they just go in a bin like this. Okay. And then as you develop more inventory, you may have 2 or 3 of those boxes. And again, what I like about it is it's portable. It goes with me to appointments, and then it goes back into my closet. So let me show you one other thing here. If I can move this, this is my closet of inventory here. And I'll see if I can bring this over. I hang my bags on the door here so I can grab my orders really easily. And I'm trying to see if I can stretch here. All right, so as you can kind of see here, these are my boxes, and I use some of these leftover Voluform boxes to store my products. So I have some loose 3D Miracle Set products in here. I have my bags of Miracle Sets here, and I just keep these stacked. I also use these bins right here like that to have products in here, extra foundations and CC creams. So, you can use different things that are already a part of your business. Like this is a lid from a Timewise Voluform set that helps me keep my products organized. And then I have my shelves labeled for different products. So it's not super organized right now. It's a little messy, but I know where everything is. And this just helps me keep my extra products in a closet like that. So that's another thing that you can do. I'll show you one other thing that I use. This is my little caddy for samples. So you probably are going to want to have something to put your samples in, and it's nice if it has a way to separate them. So you can see I have some of my eyeliners in here. I've got my eyeshadows cut up in here. These you can just get in like a sheet of 24. And I've got my lip glosses down in here. I like this because I can grab it and go. And I like to stick these into customer orders just as a little thank you to give them a gift. And I pass them out when I do vendor events at like a festival or a fair, a restaurant, or a clothing store, and it's just something fun to be able to give away. So I like to have that in an organized fashion so I can see all the samples. It's not just like in a big old mess, it's divided. And those are easy to find at drugstores because they're like makeup organizers. And then I have another box of samples for bigger samples. And these are samples that I would use when it's labeled here, skincare samples. These are when I do some mailers and I send people samples in the mail. So I do things called a virtual facial, and that's when someone is living too far away from me to do a facial in person. I like to send them a facial in a bag. And when I do that, I send them one of the TimeWise 3D samples. And I also send them one of these. This is the foundation primer. I'll just rip that off for them. And I also send them a sample of the microdermabrasion. I'm trying to find that in here. I think I've got some in here. I might have run out. Oh, here it is. So these come in like packs of 6. So this is 2 right here. And when you do your facial in a bag, you just rip these off and you put it all together. You send it in a little envelope, and then you set up a time to do a virtual facial with them. And that can be done through Zoom or FaceTime on your iPhone if you have an iPhone, or on Facebook Messenger you can do a FaceTime. So no matter where your customers are, you can get in front of them and do a video chat and just talk them through how to do the facial. So I like to have those samples handy. You can see that when I'm sitting at my desk, I can just reach over and grab them. Very handy. The other thing that I like to do to keep my paperwork organized, we're kind of moving beyond the product right now, is I like to keep my supplies organized of what I need to do my appointments. So I'll show you just a little bit over here. It's not looking super organized right here, but just give you a peek. So down here, you can see that I have these drawers, and they pull out like that, and I can grab things that I need for my business, like my profile cards, my blank receipts, other things that I might need. Like this is actually what I send when I do my facial in a bag, because this is a facial in a bag sheet, and I give them a closing sheet copied on the back of it. I have my feedback postcards, extra copies. And by the way, you can get all these things copied at the Office Max or Office Depot at a very discounted rate, a Mary Kay 40% discount. Okay, so make sure you're getting those supplies copied in color. Most of them are good to have in color, and they are going to be 40% off when you use your Mary Kay discount card. And that is also on our Mary Kay unit website, and also on Mary Kay in Touch. If you can't find it, just let me know and I'll help you find it. So you've got your supplies organized, you've got your products organized. Let's talk really quick about your starter kit bag, because when you do appointments, you are going to want to go to that house or them come to you, and you're going to have everything organized so that you're not digging through your bag and everything's lost and it's like down in there and you're digging around like a dog digging for a bone. All right, that's not pretty. You don't want to do that. So what I like to do with my appointments is I have a roll-up bag, and I put a lot of the products in here. It makes it really easy to get to, of course, because we have these handy compartments. Let me show you how I do it. So in my first compartment, I have all of my TimeWise 3D set. So I have this one for the normal to dry and the oily combination. Then the second one is sort of like my extra supplements. They're the products that I use a lot at my appointments, but they're not part of a skincare set. So they would be like the microdermabrasion, satin lips, the eye makeup remover, the charcoal mask, the foundation primer. I actually do a lot with the acne treatment gel when I want to tell people about how to just take care of a pimple here and there. This is the botanical set. I like to keep this with me at every appointment just in case I run into someone who is not ready for anti-aging, like a teenager or someone with very sensitive skin. I like to have this handy. And then down here, I keep my satin hands, and this is actually the satin lips. So actually I have two. I don't need to, but anyway, I usually just keep the satin hands, satin lips down here, botanicals, extra products, and 3D set. Okay, so that makes it really easy for me to do my appointments and just pull pretty much almost everything that I need out of here. And you could actually put more different things in here too, but let me show you what I put over in my starter kit bag. Okay, so this is the starter kit bag, all right? So what I do is I put pens in the front pocket, right? That's where I keep my pens. And go through some things here. Take the big things out first. All right, so I have these black mesh bags as the way that I organize all the different things that are in here. There's really no one way to do this. You could kind of do it how it made sense to you, but I'm just going to show you an example of how you could do it. In here, I have extra brushes, I don't know if you can see them, to apply the translucent powder. And I have my Skinvigorate brush. And I also have thrown in my extra cotton rounds for the eye makeup remover in here. This bag, and by the way, these come from the mirrors. So you're going to take the mirrors out and use these. This is the bag where I have my eye products. So I have the mascara and I have my eyebrow pencils in here. And I do have a couple of the eye cream shadows just to do like a quick dash out the door look, if that's something that I need. I also have my CC creams and my concealers in one of these bags, concealers and the under eye corrector. And I also have the translucent powder in here because I usually do that as a finishing powder. And then at the bottom, I don't always use these, but I do have the liquid foundations, and I have them in the luminous and the matte. And I tell people that, you know, they do get a custom foundation matching with me. So they could choose to do the liquid or they could choose to do the CC cream. And I usually just ask them if they want more full coverage with a more flawless look, or if they would rather have a more light and sheer natural CC cream as their foundation choice. So I give them those two choices. But if you don't have those liquids right now, don't worry about it. You'll just do the CC cream. And later, if you want to, you can order those liquid foundations and build that up too. Now, one bag that I don't have with me, I have it in my purse because I did an on-the-go appointment at the gym, would be my lip glosses. And I have these wands in here. You can get these from Amazon by the hundreds and only pay a few dollars for it. So that's how I get my little wands. I dip them into the lip gloss and then they apply it. And when I do my appointments, I usually only give them a choice of two different lip glosses, like maybe a brighter one and a lighter one. I like to have like Pink Wink and Fancy Nancy. Those are kind of two different kind of colors, and I ask them if they want the lighter one or the brighter one, and then they get to pick which one. You don't want to bring out lots of lip glosses at your appointments because that turns it into a color appointment, and it's not a color appointment, it's just a skincare appointment. So that's how I organize the products that are in here. And then can't really see it too much here, but in the back I have the mirrors, and I usually pack about 4 just because that's about my average party size. But if I'm going to a party with more, then I obviously will pack more. These are the trays back here, the plastic trays. I have the little name badges, the name tents that people can use for their place card. And I have a dry erase marker that's in the front of my starter kit bag, so I can put the names on there. This doesn't want to go back in there. Okay. And here's one little thing that I bring. This is Windex. And if you ever get to an appointment and you find that there's some smudges on your mirrors, you can just spray your mirrors real quick and wipe them off with a paper towel. You really should go to your appointments with clean mirrors, but sometimes when you go from appointment to appointment to appointment, you don't have a lot of time to clean them, so this is handy. You can also get the same kind of a little spray bottle with alcohol in it, and that can be used to sanitize your eyeshadows, blushes, bronzers, things like that, and it will make it very clean for the next person to use. So I definitely recommend that. Okay, so then, oh, and these are the facial cloths. So these all go inside the bag. And the other thing that I have inside here is my flip chart. Okay, this is like your Bible. This is just so important because it's going to help you know exactly what to say at your appointments. Now, one thing I want you all to know about my flip chart is the one that comes in your starter kit is awesome, but it's not like the words that I was used to saying. So I created my own flip chart with my own kind of flow of how I usually do my parties and my own flow of my own words. And it's tweaked a little bit from what the company does. So don't get freaked out about it. If you just want to start practicing with the one from the company, you can. But also on my website, you can find my flip chart with my words and my kind of protocol of how I go through a party. Lots of great extras in there that I think will help you recruit more people and sell more product, give a little more detailed information about our company and the ingredients in our products. And I think customers like that. But it takes some practice. It takes time to get used to it so that you feel that it's your own and it's your own words. So that's an option that you can copy the flip chart pages that were created by me, and that copy is on our unit website. So look for that. There's a video of me going over all of this. And again, it's totally optional. You can use the one from the company, but I do prefer this one. But if you don't have time to get it done and you're just practicing with people, don't worry about it. It's not like radically different. It's okay for you to start with this one and then later go back and copy the one that we have created. So you're definitely going to need some closing sheets. All right, so this is the same kind of thing. The company has given you placemats in your starter kit, and there's a picture of the 3D Miracle set on it, and there's pictures of like different combinations of sets on the back. I personally like to have my own closing sheet. The reason why is I like to have product on one side and starter kit on the other side. Because when we close our parties, we always tell people that this is option A. You can get started with your own Mary Kay business today, and this is really the best deal. So we always share this one first. And you'll go over with them how this deal works and what it means to be a consultant and all the great products that they get in their starter kit. And then you're going to tell them, this is option B. You can get started with one of these sets today, and we actually give you a bonus product at half price when you get one of the sets. So this is currently the one that we're using, and there's some special favorites down here to give them some ideas of some add-on products. But this really focuses them on basic set, miracle set, or ultimate miracle set. And I think when you give a woman just 3 choices like that, or she can choose this great deal, she's going to have an easier time to choose than if you gave her something with too many choices, or don't give her the catalog, because that's like way too many choices. You never, ever, ever want to bring out a catalog at a party, because then they're going to be thinking about this product and this product and this product and this product, and they're going to get so confused, and they're going to forget about the great skincare that they just tried, and they'll probably just buy a lip gloss. And we don't want that. Okay, so closing sheets, copied in color and laminated. What I also love is these are our closing questions, and that's what we ask people when we meet with them for our individual consultation at the end. Because at every party, you always sit with each person one by themselves, away from the group, to talk about what they liked best and what did they want to purchase and when do you want to do your second date and do more with color, and would you be interested in hearing more about the business? I'm in training and I need to practice sharing. Would you help me? All right, so that needs to be a private conversation away from everybody else. And the closing questions are right on that sheet. They're right here. So you don't have to remember everything to say. The questions are already there. So you're going to have this in front of you, and she's going to have one in front of her, and you're just going to go through the questions and take notes on the back of the customer profile card. Okay? So this is really handy, and you need to have probably at least 6 to 10 of these copied. There's also more on my website that are related to other skincare sets. For example, if you were doing an appointment and someone was using the TimeWise Repair set, that's the more powerful age-fighting system. We have a closing sheet for people that are using the repair. Let me see if I have another one for the botanicals. We have one for the Clear Proof set. And we have one for the men's products. And I know we have them for the botanical, but just not finding it here. So we have them for all the different skincare lines. So laminated, back to front with the starter kit in color. Again, use your Mary Kay discount card. That is key. It will save you a lot of money. You probably don't need very many copies of the ones for the men, like maybe just one copy for the men, maybe just 1 or 2 for the Voluform, 1 or 2 for the Clear Proof, because for most of your appointments, you will use that TimeWise 3D Miracle set. So that's the one that you need the most of, okay? All right. So the last thing that you need to have in your starter kit is some kind of a folder to keep your things organized. And you may not need a big accordion like this. You may start out with something smaller like this, just like a plastic folder. And you did get one in your starter kit. So you could use that one as a start. But you want something so that you can keep your profile cards, customer receipts, all the different things that we use at our appointment in order. Now, I used to use one of the thinner ones like this, and I liked it a lot, but it would just get a little bit disorganized. So then I went to this accordion, which has more areas to keep everything, but it's really thick and it takes up a lot of room in the starter kit, and I don't love that. So if you can find anything that's kind of in between the two, that would probably be the best. But as a new consultant, I would say err on the side of something smaller and thinner because it's going to be less heavy and bulky in your starter kit. Like this one is just a little bit too big for me, but I got it, so I'm using it. But what are the categories? Well, you're going to need to have a place for your customer receipts, all right? Because when you check people out, you use that for each person. You are also going to need a place for your customer profile cards because each customer fills this out when they get to the appointment. And you're also going to need to have these copied. These are our Kate Spade postcards. We call these a feedback postcard because they are going to be something you give to them at the very end of the party to ask for their feedback on what they want to do for their future appointment and also if they would be interested in hearing more about the Mary Kay business. So make sure you have one for each person. You can just print these out on regular paper, but it's nice to put them in color. And then you're going to turn them into me when you're done, or just send me a picture of them and I will write one down for you. And they get entered and you get entered to win a Kate Spade handbag. So that's pretty cool because who doesn't like Kate Spade? But more importantly, it gives you information about if they're interested in hearing more about the business. And that's really cool because it's fun to build a team. And it's also great to practice and tell people more about the business. You and I do that together in a practice sharing appointment session. And we do that together either over the phone or over a Zoom chat. We do them once a week at night. So you could get her on with me on that, or just schedule a time to meet for coffee. It also could help you figure out if she's interested in joining right on the spot, because if she's circling, yes, I'm very interested, then you may be able to talk to her right at the individual closing and say, well, sounds like you're pretty interested. Do you feel like you'd be ready to just get the starter kit today? And sometimes they'll say, sure, I think I will. I'll just get that today. It's the better deal. And then I'd love to hear more about the business. And then you build them into, build their education and teach them about what it means to be a consultant. And I, of course, do that for you because that's my job, is to train people. Okay. So you want to have those handy. And speaking of sharing, there are some really great flyers on our website under team building, and it's good to give people some information about how the Mary Kay business works, especially if someone is curious or interested. You want to be able to hand them something so that they can see what is involved and what are the benefits. You can copy them off of my website, or the Mary Kay In Touch has flyers that you can order. They're back to back. They give some benefits of the business, and you can look for those under the team building section of the section 2 on In Touch when you place your order. The other thing that you can look for there is an agreement. This is the starter kit agreement, and you can get these for just a couple dollars. This is the paper that they fill out when they are deciding that they want to become a team member of yours. So these are handy to have, and you can put them right on the table during the party and let people know that if you want to sign up today, you just have to fill this out. Okay? So that's that. I'm trying to think. Oh, back in the back here, I have catalogs, and I have my extra closing sheets, the ones I was just telling you about. That's the one for the Clear Proof. This is the one for the botanical set. Okay. And then I have my other regular 3D Miracle Set closing sheets, the ones that I was just showing you. Okay, so you're going to want to have that for everybody and a catalog for everyone, but only give the catalog to them after the party is over, after they have made their purchase, because they are going to be taking it home to look through when they are, planning their next appointment. Okay, it's not something that they look through in order to make a purchase, but it's something that they make a decision about what colors they want to try next time, and like the things that they want to try at a future appointment. Okay, one last thing I forgot to get out, so let me go over to the other cabinet and get this thing here. All right, these are goodie bags, right? So at your parties, it's fun to do a couple things to make it a little more lively, all right? I tell all of the people that are going to come to my party that I'm going to give them a goodie bag, all right? So I want to come to my appointments with my goodie bag. Now, in the beginning, you don't have to have a goodie bag, so don't stress about it, but it is a great incentive for people to come when they know they're getting a goodie bag. And it's something that you can use as a way to tell them, I'm really excited that you're coming, and I'm so happy you're bringing your 2 friends and your mom. I'm making a goodie bag for everybody, and I want to customize the goodie bag. So I want to know a little bit about everyone's skin and their eye color, and I need to ask everybody some questions. So can you give me your guest list so that I can contact everyone and get those questions answered? Right, we call that pre-profiling. Pre-profiling is key. You want to know information about your people that you're going to be seeing. And so you're going to ask them about their skin type, their eye color, and any allergies they have, and skincare concerns. And you can look at pre-profile questions on my website just so you have the exact wording. But the goodie bag helps them get excited to come. You can even put a sticker on the front of it, like a label, and write their name on it and let them know that you have a goodie bag for them with their name on it. You can even text them a picture of it and say, got your goodie bag ready. They're going to come to that party when they know there's a goodie bag with their name on it, right? So this is a really great tool. It's also how I get people to come over and talk to me at the individual closing, because I tell them, I have your goodie bag over here, so I'm going to meet with everyone individually, give you your goodie bag, and get your feedback on what you liked and see what you want to take home today. So that's how you can bribe them with the goodie bag. All right, it's a great tool. And so what's in here is this little postcard about rewards that they can get at their second date. They get $10 free just for doing it. Then if they invite other people, they get $10 per person who comes, as long as they're over 18, don't have a Mary Kay consultant, and they place an order. And that's in the fine print here, so they can tell, they know that. Then on the other side, this is something that you can fill out with them, and it says, what did you want to do at your next experience? And then the colors they want to try, and then the date that they have committed to doing that and the time. So when you're checking out with people, you can talk to them about what do you want to do. This is also on the Kate Spade, the postcard for Kate Spade, what they want to do. But you can also just check it off and say, what products do you want to try? And just take some notes and just jot down when they decided they wanted to do the appointment. So that's something you would schedule with them at the individual closing. And then I put in a color card for their eye color. These are the colors that match their eye color. The colors are all great, so don't stress about it too much if it's not exactly the right color. And then I usually put in my business card, maybe a piece of candy, maybe a lip gloss, and I often will put in a mascara. And I also use the mascara as a bribe to ask them to please register on my website. So I send them the link. If you have a website, you can do that. And I ask them if they could please pre-register on my website. And if they do that, then they get a travel size mascara from me. So the goodie bag is something, again, you don't have to do in the beginning, but it's a great thing to start thinking about getting these materials printed and, having them handy. It's sort of like the and then some that you do in your business. It's the extra, but it's the extra that will really help you later, especially as you're moving forward and you're booking appointments with people you don't know that well. Like if you're practicing with your best friend and your neighbor and your coworker, they're probably just going to come and they're going to help you because they know you and they want to support you. But when you're growing your business outside of that circle and you're moving into people that don't know you, don't really care too much about you, then you're going to want to use something that's going to attract them. Okay. And, you can find some of these bags at party stores. The dollar store has gift bags. And so it doesn't have to cost a lot of money to make these little goodie bags. So I did wanted to show that to you. The other thing that I didn't pull out of my starter kit bag, it must be in a different bag right now, is a roll of tickets. You probably want to get a roll of tickets because that can be something fun to play with at your bigger parties. It isn't something you would use at a facial or even a double facial. But if you're doing a party with 3 or more people, it's fun to have tickets so that you can play games when they answer the questions that you ask throughout the party. And it's also a good idea to have like a small bag of some little prizes that you can give away at your party. It could be just something really small, like here. These little mini hand creams make great little gifts to give away. They're about 60 cents to buy these on the Mary Kay InTouch, and you're going to find them under the product sample section, under section 2, product samples, and then look for body care samples. But these are great little travel size for the purses. Women love this for their hands. So I would definitely recommend having some kind of a little bag that you can put some samples or like small section 2 deluxe minis, or just discontinued products, things maybe that you got on a pink sale and you're just going to give them away as gifts for different games that you play throughout your party. And you can watch more about that on the website with other party videos. And then the other things you would probably need to buy are headbands to pull people's hair back. All right, so that's really the only extra supplies that you need in your starter kit. Everything else, it all came in your starter kit when you first joined. All right, so those are the things that you need to do to get your starter kit ready and all the extra supplies. So now I'm just going to tell you finally one other thing that I think is very helpful, and that is how to keep track of your customers. So let's say you do an appointment and the customer fills out her profile card. This is a little bit older, so ignore that one. Let me see if I have one that's a little bit more current here. Yeah, this is one that looks current. Okay, so this is what they look like now. They revised them. And she filled it out. She's got this part filled out. I am going to write her order down, okay? And I'm going to keep this top copy for myself, and I staple it to the back of the profile card. That's how I can always keep her information and her order together. It's the paper version. You can also do this on the computer, and I'm going to show that to you in a minute. The other copy, well, one copy goes to the customer, okay? And then the other third copy I keep in here, and these are my months of the year. They're all the different months. And then I put all of the receipts that came with every order into the month. So I can see all of the orders I had in the month. This is all the orders I had for the month of October. Look at all that, guys. These are a lot of orders, okay? You'll have that too someday. So at the end of the month, I like to total up my total sales, and I can do that through my weekly accomplishments on the computer, but I also like to see my receipts, and I know who I need to follow up with 2 months later, because all of these people from October are going to need to hear from me again 2 months later. In December, I'm going to be checking in with them and saying, how are your products working for you? And are you running low on anything? Or did you need to get that other product that you didn't get to buy last time because you just weren't able to use a new one yet, but you told me it was going to be something you wanted when your other product ran out. You know, it's just a good reminder to you to check in with them about 2 months later. So that's why I love to have that extra receipt in a separate folder, a box. You could put it in one of these and have it by the month, and then, you know, just have it so that you can remember who you need to follow up with. All right. So that's just as far as what this is and where it goes. Then you're going to want to put this into either your My Customers app or My Customers. Okay, so My Customers is on the computer under my Mary Kay in Touch, but the My Customers app is right here. So, you know, when you pull up the app, this is a free app, and you definitely want to get it. It's called My Customers Plus. And I know you really won't be able to see it too well here, but there is something that says customers, all right? And this is a list of all the customers. And when you want to add a customer, you just hit this button down at the bottom, and there you go. You can add a customer. You can put in her name, her phone number, her email, her address. You can even add in her order. I like to add in her birthday so I can do a special discount on her birthday. You can even take her picture and add her picture in there so that you have a memory of every person. Believe it or not, you're going to have so many customers that you won't even remember everybody. So that's how you're going to add in your customers and your orders. And the other way you can do it is on your computer. So I'm going to show you how to do that really quick. If I can screen share. And let's see. Here to my Mary Kay. All right, you're going to go to Business Tools, and you're going to go down to My Customers. You're going to go over to My Customers, and you're going to go to New Customer over here. So this is where you would add in a new customer, and you just put in all their information, and a new girl that I have here. You can type an email here, her phone number, her address, and you're going to want to make sure she's signed up for all three of these: the Beauty e-News, the Beauty e-Cards, and the product order reminders. That's going to allow you to be able to send things to them, and for Mary Kay to send this to them a couple times a month just so they can hear about products. You can upload a picture and definitely put in her birthday because you want to be able to celebrate her birthday month. Give her a special discount on her birthday month. You can put in her answers to her profile questions. I don't usually do that, but then you're going to save her as a customer. And here she is. And I can edit her if I need to change anything. And I can add her order in. Let me just show you how you add an order. Now, some of you may not have this as an option. You need to have ProPay, which is the credit card service that we use. It's $39 a year. So let's just say you are not going to do a customer delivery service, which means they would get the product sent directly to them, but you're going to take that product either off your shelf or you're going to order it. So either way, you're going to get that product first, right, from yourself, and then you're going to give it to her. So you're choosing the My Inventory option. Then we're going to add products. So let's say she wants the Miracle Set 3D. I'm going to hit the search button, and then I have all these combinations of things that I can get. So this is the one I want, the combination oily. I'm going to hit add. Now the product was added here in the list. And then let's say she also got an oil-free eye makeup remover. And I'm going to search that. You don't even have to type in the whole thing. And just make sure it's the right one. This is the $15 full-size one. And that's her order. So she got a Miracle Set and an eye makeup remover. You can put the date of the delivery. You don't really need to put in the whole address and everything. And then it's going to ask you about the payment. Now, if she paid cash or check, you can just add in like what she gave you. You can put the check number if you want to. You don't really have to. Now, if you're doing the credit card, I do not recommend adding the credit card in here. I would recommend that you do that through the ProPay app or through Venmo or whatever way you're going to charge her card, PayPal, because then you can save her credit card information and store it, and then you can use it again later if she has other things that she wants to order. But if you add it in here, you really can't save it. So let's say that she did her payment, she's fully paid. You can actually add a tag. So if you wanted to remember her as someone who you met from a certain fair or festival, or if she's living in a certain town, or you can add a tag of like that she's a skincare customer, anything you want to kind of categorize her as a customer, you just add her in as a tag. And then it will categorize all your customers that are skincare customers. So you'll be able to pull it up later. You don't really need to worry about that too much now, but I'm just telling you about what it is. And then you can add notes about people. Like if you if she said she wanted some color. Okay. And then the follow-up. This is a really great option. So you're going to always choose 2 plus 2 plus 2. And you can do this on the app as well, because Mary Kay is going to send a reminder to this person 2 days after the order, 2 weeks after the order, and 2 months after the order. And that's really great because that helps you from doing a lot of work, and then you can let Mary Kay do the work for you. Okay, so if you have everything in there, you're going to be able to mark it as complete and or save it and review it later. Okay, so that's a little bit about how you enter a customer. Then the last thing I want to show you is how you enter in things that are related to your orders. So if you're doing that and you're putting in all your customer orders in, you should be able to go over to your weekly accomplishments. It's the very last thing under the business tools. This is going to be a way to track all of your sales. And what you see here is I had the customer that I added her order in, and here she is. And I can put in here like how much sales tax she paid, how much of a gift I gave to her, maybe how much I gave to her in a giveaway free product like a prize. I can even tally up the non-recovered sales tax that was given away. For example, if I gave her a mini satin hand set, which was a $4 item, I did pay sales tax on that, which I'm not recovering. So it's a good idea to keep track of that because then later, for tax purposes, you can say that you had this much non recovered sales tax. And by putting it into the weekly accomplishment sheet, it is going to give you a total at the end of the year. And this will explain it to you. So if there's anything you don't understand what it is, you can just click on it and it will explain it to you. Okay. So after you have added in all of those things, like you could say, I worked with her for 1 hour, there was one guest, she gave me one order, and she gave me one booking for the future, and I sold one skincare set. And it was at a facial because it was with one person. If it's a website order, you can do that on the go, a party. PCP is like they just order something after you've sent them a catalog or a reorder or some sort of a show or a bigger event. But either way, you put in it all and then you add it in. Okay, now it's going to go here in your week's total and it's going to total things up throughout the week. Then you can actually submit this to me as your director right here. You hit submit, and at the end of the week, you can submit to me all of your weekly accomplishments. And there's some other features there that are really fun, but for right now, I just wanted to teach those to you at a glance. Okay, so I hope that you saw that. All right. I don't know if you saw it. But anyway, my customers or the app, enter your customers in, enter your orders in, all right? Enter your weekly accomplishments. The last thing I want to show you is what do you do with these cards after you've done the appointment? Well, I keep my cards organized in bins like this. I cut off the top of my bin. It has like a little lid, but I cut it off. And then I have different categories here that help me stay organized with what I need to do. So for example, if I have a customer and I owe her Mary Kay products because I did not have it, I will put her card right behind here. So I remember I owe her something and I circle it on her order. So this is someone who I ordered. I got these two things and I checked them, but this one I owe her something. So I circled it so I can remember I owe her the lip primer. I need to order that. And I got to get that to her fast because I don't want someone to be waiting and waiting on a product. So I put that in that section. Then another one I have is the I owe me money section because sometimes people reorder things from me and they haven't paid me yet. So I need to make sure that I get payment from them. Maybe they're going to mail me a check or I'm going to send them an invoice through ProPay where they're going to put their credit card information in and then I'm going to collect the payment. So I want to make sure that I have checked that off as paid. And I always do make a big mark right here. Like you can see, I checked off that she paid with a credit card and I wrote PD for paid. So you're going to want to mark that off if someone paid you so that you don't forget that they paid you, right? All right, and then the rest of my box are the people that I'm basically following up with in the back. And I have different categories for the 2-day reorder people. These are my people that have just reordered. And then I have people that are new customers. And these are the 2-day follow-up people. So I need to check in with them in about 2 days to see how they're doing with their products. And then I have one for 2-week follow-up. So after I've done the 2-day follow-up, I move them to the 2-week follow-up. And I follow up with them 2 weeks later. And then I have some here, 2-month follow-up. So I'm going to follow up with them 2 months later, and I'm really trying to get in front of them again to book color appointments and spa appointments. And I actually even have more categories back here for like first attempt, second attempt, third attempt, because I know it's going to take me many attempts to try to get someone to do an appointment sometimes. So I want to sort of continue to follow up and put them in the next category, and then follow up and then put them in the next category. And so you will probably start with some of these different categories, and you may change it and tweak it along the way. That's what I've done. I also have one back here when I have people that gave me referrals on the back of the profile card and I want to follow up with those referrals, those are in there so I can remember to call those referrals or text them. In the back, I mean, in the front, I have some that are potential recruits that they have agreed to do a sharing appointment with me, and I want to get in front of them to do that. I also have people that need to reschedule because we had an appointment and then it fell off. So I want to get in front of them again and I don't want to forget about them. And then I also have a category of people that I have an appointment booked with. And so I have them in a special category because I don't want to forget that we have an appointment that's booked. And so I actually have the card just with their name on it and really not a whole lot else filled out yet. But I have a post-it note that's on the front that says when the appointment is. So like this one is someone who I have her name, I have her date of her party, where it is, and what I have done to follow up with her. So I use these big yellow post-it notes to help me keep track of people. And even after the appointment, I usually write notes about like who she is and maybe something she said that I want to remember. Maybe her husband owns a business that I want to go and do something with her and do an event. I just take all those notes and I put it on the front because when you're meeting a lot of people, you start to forget things. Don't put it all up here. Put it down on the post-it notes, okay? Or some people prefer to keep it in their phone. You can definitely do that too. So, okay, those are all the awesome things that I wanted to share with you about staying organized. I hope I covered a lot of the good things. They're going to help you. Remember what I said in the beginning. This is just, an overview of all the different things that will help you manage your time and your products and your starter kit and your customer cards. But you'll tweak it, you'll make it your own, and it's going to be awesome. So just get started. Don't overthink it. Don't be a perfectionist and think that it has to be absolutely perfect because chances are you're going to tweak it and change it as you go. Just do the best you can. It doesn't have to be like 100% everything I told you today, but you will build upon it and you will get better and better every time you do it. So just get practicing, get organized, and just get out there and start selling some products.